And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Bruins, Maple Leafs, Game 4. Pretty much a must-win game for Boston tonight if they want any chance of winning this series. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's going to be a good one. Game 3 was not. Yeah, definitely. What's going on, guys? Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Boston absolutely has to win this game. If they don't, it's series over if Boston doesn't win tonight. There's no way they're going to come back from 3-1 down. Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, have to say, definitely pretty nervous headed into this one. Yep, Penguins are done. I was quite happy to see the Lightning and Penguins both get bounced last night. Last night was a good night. What's going on, Goal Horns? Life's pretty good, man. How are you? No, Boston will. If Boston goes down 3-1, they're done. This team's done. They absolutely have to win tonight. Yeah, Avalanche are looking good against Calgary. Think they'll make it a game 7. I don't know about that, Nolan, but we'll see. I mean, if Boston wins tonight, maybe it goes 7. But if Boston loses tonight, I think that's going to be probably it for the Bruins. Goal Horns, your Dead Penguins pick was hilarious, fantastic. Darlene, I don't know. Rasmus Dahlin, the Sabres didn't do too good this year. I don't know. You can't even really compare those players. Makar's had one NHL game. Dahlin's had a whole season in the NHL. I mean, I think long term, I think Makar probably ends up the better player, but I haven't seen that much of Dahlin, so I'm not sure of that. What's going on, Panther? No, Cale Makar is not winning. Cale Makar didn't play a single regular season game. He can't win the Calder. The Calder is a regular season award. What you do in the playoffs means nothing for the regular season awards. Yeah, no, this is a very, very different Toronto team, Nolan. Yeah, defensemen take years longer to develop than forwards, absolutely. So Toronto looks absolutely lit right now, outside and inside the arena, just absolutely going nuts. Yeah, I was watching Game 3. I was very, very angry. That would have been interesting if I was streaming during that, because I was very, very angry. And that was a brutal game to watch. Oh, you know it, Panther. Oh, you know it all the time. Toronto fans like to do that. Toronto fans and Penguins fans, I think, are the two fan bases that annoy me the most. And last night definitely shut up the Penguin fans. Getting swept by the Islanders in the first round, that shut up the Penguin fans. Yeah, goal horns. It was nice seeing. No, Pittsburgh's on the decline unless they get a big defense, like a big time defenseman in there. Pittsburgh's on the decline. Their defense is so bad, so bad. Yeah, no, Cale Makar does not have a chance for Calder. Whether you got to play more games, even if it did count playoffs, you got to play more games. Yeah, the Brendan, the Rangers are not here. No, Rangers are not in the playoffs. The Islanders are though, and they just swept the Penguins. Yeah, okay, yes, you have Dumoulin. You're gonna win the Stanley Cup with one good defenseman. Well, I mean, Letang's still good, but he can't be playing 30 minutes a night. His ice time was unbelievably high. Islanders are very, very good. I love this Islanders team. They are very, very good. I'd love to see them knock off Washington. That would be fantastic to see the Islanders knock off Washington. You're just mad because the Islanders are good and the Rangers aren't. That makes no sense. They literally just swept the Penguins. They're the best defensive team in the league. How do they not stand a chance against Washington, who just got blown out by Carolina? There's no reason to think that this Islanders team can't beat Washington. There's zero. I mean, we just had Columbus beat Tampa Bay. They just blew through Pittsburgh. And Washington just got destroyed by Carolina. This Washington team is not unbeatable. Just like Tampa wasn't unbeatable. Brendan, all these teams that you say suck are better than your team. I don't know why you're saying that all these teams suck. The Penguins, the Islanders, and the Capitals are all better than the Rangers. Yeah, Nolan, I'm with you. I think the Islanders have a very good chance of going to the Cup. They are perfectly built for the playoffs. Exactly built how to win in the playoffs. Low scoring, defensive, physical. They are perfectly built for the playoffs. Nolan, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Probably. Vegas, I don't think Vegas is going to I don't think Vegas is going to win the Cup. Vegas was there last year. They're having a great series against, I don't know, the Western Conference is so difficult. It's really it's wide open. Anyone saying that every team left in the playoffs has a chance to win the Cup. Every single team left in the playoffs has a chance to win the Cup. I hate when people say this team has no chance or that team has no chance. Every single team has a chance. And if Columbus isn't the biggest reminder of that, then you've just got your head stuck up your ass or your own team's ass, because every single team has a chance. If you get into the playoffs, you have the chance to win the Stanley Cup. I mean, look at Los Angeles in 2014. They got in as the 8th seed, barely into the playoffs, and they ran the table. Not only did they run the table, they came back from 3-0 down in the first round to San Jose. They reverse sweep San Jose, and then they win the cup. I mean, way, way, way down the road. But every single team in the playoffs has a chance to win the Stanley Cup. So we're underway here. Chara just laid a big hit on Marner right off the opening faceoff, so that could be a good sign. But I don't think you necessarily win the game in the first 5 seconds. But now here comes Toronto into the zone, and they already forced Rask to make a huge save. So Boston looking like crap already. That's a good start. This first line, there's Chara laying out Marner, but this first line continues to not get anything going offensively and giving up easy chances against. And I don't know why they left him so much space to take that shot, but not good. Not a good start for Boston. Lucky that wasn't a goal. Hey, what's going on, Vaughn? So Boston finally gets the puck out of their own end here, and now there's a penalty on Toronto. Interesting. Connor Brown going to the box for the Maple Leafs early here. They called it holding. He took his hand off his stick and then took down Nordstrom. So I guess that's a good call. So Boston's going to the power play early. We'll see if they give up a shorthanded goal like usual. But a big chance early here for Boston if they can take a lead on the power play. But no, they already give up the puck. And here comes Toronto shorthanded. Luckily, Bergeron makes a nice play coming back defensively. But Boston's power play already looks like absolute horse shit. And, they're probably going to get blown out tonight. Useless power play. Surprised they haven't given up a goal yet. And now they go off sides, getting into the zone because David Pastrnak doesn't know how to stay on sides. This is pathetic. So Boston now still has no possession in the offensive zone, and here comes Toronto shorthanded. And he shoots it wide. But, first minute of this power play has been absolute garbage for Boston. What else is new? So they're off to a great start. Easy save there for Freddie Anderson. And now Boston finally with some sustained possession. Might be able to get a little bit of pressure here, although Krug might want to not pass it waist high. Over to Pastrnak, though. He's got space, and he doesn't really do anything with it. So final 30 seconds here, and glove save Freddie Anderson. So Anderson, two good saves on this power play. Boston did nothing for the first minute, just kind of turned it over. Finally got possession and some chances, and that was it. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. And and I know I kind of railed against Pens fans in that video today, but I was just I got so much shit from Pens fans all season long. And it was a lot of them about me thinking that, the Penguins weren't that good this year. And it was just, it just felt good to finally be right, as we've got a Boston goal here. But I appreciate it. And I know Penguins fans don't want to see their team out in the first round. But it's just, after all the chirping all year long, it felt good to get something right and be able to give it back a little bit and actually be right about something, because I'm often wrong a lot, like picking Tampa Bay to go to the Stanley Cup final. That didn't go so well. Most of my predictions before the season didn't go so well. But it's nice to finally be able to chirp back and be right about something for once. So it's 1-0. Boston gets the first goal on the power play. Tampa is absolutely the laughing stock of the NHL right now. Unbelievable what they did. So this is good for usually the way that this series has gone, it seems like, the starts are really, really important. In the team that scores first, it's usually really, really important. So for Boston to get the first goal here, this is kind of big. They certainly haven't won a damn thing yet, but to be up 1-0 and playing with the lead, that is a positive sign for the Bruins. However, I'm still not overly confident in their ability to win this game, given how they looked in Game 3. And how much faster and how much more in control Toronto was than Boston. So we'll see how the rest of the game goes. We're only about 4 minutes in here. Yeah. Yeah, the Penguins story has absolutely kind of been thrown under the rug, so to say, because everyone is talking about Tampa Bay. No one is really talking about Pittsburgh, who it's really kind of disappointing to see them get swept too. But they didn't have 62 wins in the regular season. They weren't the President's Trophy winners. They weren't nearly everybody's Stanley Cup pick. So, Tampa is the big story, and no one's really talking about Pittsburgh. But I needed to talk about Pittsburgh because I have just spent so much time predicting this season with the Penguins, and it did actually happen. So power play goal for Boston early in the game here, which they were terrible on the power play the first minute of it, but the second minute was much better, and they ended up getting a goal. And that gives them the early lead here, and that might really help them this game to get that early lead. They don't have to play from behind, which they've done a lot of in games 1 and 3. The games that they've lost, they've spent most of the time playing from behind. Just to get that early lead, you kind of relax a little bit, you get a little more comfortable, and then it becomes, you're just playing the game, you're just playing hockey. Charlie Coyle has had a phenomenal playoffs for Boston. Even the games that Boston's played bad, Charlie Coyle has been a really good player in the playoffs for Boston. He's netted a couple of goals, and his line has been really good. And I've been really impressed with Coyle in the postseason. He did not do much in the regular season for once after the trade, but these playoffs, he's impressed me. I've been really happy with him. Keep toddlers away. That's funny. Crosby is a girl. Keep toddlers away from Tampa. It's a choking hazard. I don't know. I think Cale Makar, I think, is going to end up the better player than Dahlin. But I haven't seen – and Marchand just scores to make it 2-0. This is good news for Boston. 2-0 Boston here. This is a great start. This is about as good of a start as you could get. I don't know. I've seen a ton of Cale Makar. I've watched him through college. I've seen a ton of Cale Makar. I haven't seen a ton of Rasmus Dahlin. The only games I've seen Dahlin play is when the Sabres played Boston or any other Sabres game that happened to be on NBC or something. I've only seen a few games of him. He didn't stand out to me in the games that I saw. That's just a few games. So I don't know that much about Dahlin. Makar, I've seen a ton of. I know the skill set is there. I know the ability is there. Wow, huge save there from Freddie Anderson. This was almost 3-0 really quick. Huge save there from Frederik Andersen. So here's Boston now trying to get the puck out. This first line has not been really. This series as a whole has not been great for Boston's first line. Nice save there. If Rask got that might have hit the post. It was tough to tell. Nice glove save there by Rasko. See, now this is a spot where Rask is making meaningful saves. You don't always get that with Tuukka. Tuukka gives up the bad timing goal every once in a while. Well, not every once in a while. A little too often for my liking. But Tuukka is, could have easily just let one in there, and it would be right back to 2-1, and Maple Leafs would be right back in this. Tuukka with some big stops there. This chat is already, I can't even keep up, and this is already getting out of control. Rob, you shave? No, it's the playoffs. Don't shave. Actually, your team's not in it, so it doesn't matter. So yes, shave, Rob. Sabres aren't in the playoffs, so you can shave. Should the Lightning go on a fire sale? I don't know if they should necessarily need a fire sale, but I think they should make changes. Someone's got to go. Someone has got to go for the Lightning. Just brutal what they did. Yes, Colleen, I do remember you. You were in the stream last week. Yes. Goal horns, that is the hardest pass I think I have ever given in my life. Yeah, Tampa's going to make a move. They're going to trade they're either going to trade a big name player or they'll fire Cooper. But they just signed Cooper to an extension, which would be really funny if they fired him. Now, I think Tyler Johnson or someone like that could get dumped. I think someone gets moved. It's not going to be Kucherov or Stamkos or anyone like that. I do think that Tyler Johnson is the name that sticks out to me as far as who's likely to get moved. Maybe Palat as well. So that someone like that. But I do think they make some sort of move. Hey, thanks, Danny. I appreciate it. I got to answer your text here, Danny. Yes, very good start. Yeah, I think the whole hockey world is surprised that Tampa got swept. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Here's Toronto with an absolute onslaught. Just missed the net there. Still got the puck in the offensive zone. Big shot block, but Boston finally clears without possession, though. So Toronto just picks it up again. Who do I want to win? Well, I am a huge Bruins fan, so absolutely Boston. Oh, Columbus is a huge threat in the second round. Absolutely. The confidence that they're going to have after doing what they did to Tampa, the believability in themselves, I mean, when you do what Columbus did and take out the top team like that, you just completely believe in yourself so much. And your confidence level goes so much higher that Columbus is a huge threat. I'm not saying that they're necessarily going to win, but they're a huge threat. And they're a team that you absolutely cannot take lightly. Do I like Brad Marchand? Yes. He's on the Bruins. Of course I like Brad Marchand. Did you have to bring up Matt Cook? Don't even get me started on Matt Cook. Matt Cook is probably the biggest piece of shit to ever play in the NHL. Definitely my most hated player of all time. That's what I think of Matt Cook. Big save there by Rash to keep this 2-0. Matthews with a doorstep chance. What did Matt Cook do? Rob, I want you to do something for me. I want you to open a new tab on YouTube and just type in Matt Cook cheap shots. Just type in Matt Cook cheap shots into YouTube and see what comes up. That's what Matt Cook did. He is the biggest piece of garbage to ever play in the NHL. He's worse than Claude Lemieux. He is worse than Sean Avery. He is worse than Ulf Samuelsson. He was an absolute piece of crap. Look up his cheap shot history from his time in Vancouver, from his time in Pittsburgh, from his time in Minnesota. He was just atrocious. Yes. There was nothing better than watching Matt Cook get KO'd by Evander Kane in that game between Atlanta and Pittsburgh. Kane dropped him in one shot, and it was fantastic. Matt Cook he wasn't a good player. He was a career bottom six forward who went around and cheap shot at everybody. That's all Matt Cook ever did. He was a career depth player who just cheap shot at anyone he could get his hands on. Yes, Matt Cook is bringing the hockey world together in that he's a piece of trash. Do I miss Atlanta? No, Atlanta got two chances to be a hockey city. They got two teams. They got the Atlanta Flames way back in the day. Then they got the Thrashers, and they failed as a hockey city twice. Hang on, this camera's not focusing. There, it's going to refocus now. Thought I don't. Atlanta failed as a hockey city twice. They're out of chances. No, I don't miss Atlanta. Team's much better off in Winnipeg. Toronto is really bringing the pressure here offensively. Yeah, I bet if you're a Penguins fan, this first round series was definitely the worst for you. Absolutely. Sean Avery is an absolute clown, probably the biggest clown to ever play in the NHL. I loved every time someone just beat the living crap out of him. How do I feel about Tampa Bay getting swept? Well, I'm glad. Originally I wanted Tampa to win that series, but then I was like, you know what? Once it went up 2-0 Columbus, I was like, I hope Columbus sweeps them. I make Tampa the laughing stock of the league, and that's exactly what they did. Yeah, I was, to be honest, originally I didn't think Kadri would get that long of a suspension. He definitely should have been suspended for cross-checking DeBrusk in the head, but I didn't think it would be as long as this. My original reaction was he'd only get a game or two. Then I thought about his history a little bit. I was like, all right, maybe he'll get 3 again like last year. I did not expect the whole series, really until the next day when everyone was talking about him getting the whole series or like a 5+ game suspension. So I didn't think it was that bad, but given his suspension history, I'm not surprised. Yeah, if the Bruins are going to win this game, they need Tuukka Rask to play at a high level. Toronto down 2-0 early. We know that they're going to start bringing it here and really bring it. So, Rask needs to play at an elite level, and he gets paid like an elite goaltender, even though I don't think Tuukka Rask is an elite goaltender. I think he's a good goaltender, but he's not elite. He gets paid like a top NHL goalie. It's time for him to earn that money. It's time for him to earn that money tonight. This is a huge game for them. And Tuukka's going to get to earn his money here as Boston takes a penalty and Toronto's going to go to the power play. It is interference on Chara, I believe. Yeah, Chara went out of his way to shield Marner from going into forecheck. No, they called it on Bergeron. That's interesting. It looked like Chara was the one who got in the way. But either way, a very good penalty killer is off the ice for Boston, and Toronto's on the power play. So, This is one of those spots where Tuukka needs to earn his money. Make some saves, kill this penalty off. Tuukka needs to earn his money here. Good clear there from the Bruins. I don't watch any videos of Sean Avery because I don't want to give Sean Avery the time of day. I care zero about Sean Avery's opinion. The guy's an absolute asshat. I don't even give him the time of day. He's not worth it. His opinion and his say means absolutely nothing to me. So I just do not care what Sean Avery has to say. Hated him as a player. Hate him now as a person. He's garbage. What do I think of the Sabres goalies? Not good enough. They need to be better, especially Carter Hutton, who signed that deal with them to be their starting goaltender. He did not have a great season this year. The Sabres need more out of their goaltending. They need more out of the team in front of them as well, but certainly more out of their goaltending. Nice job by Tuukka there. That puck got deflected, and he made the glove save. And that puck gets blocked out with 17 seconds left on Toronto's power play. Hey, what's going on, King Gamer? Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If the Rangers win the Stanley Cup next year, I have to be a Rangers fan. I will take that bet because the Rangers are absolutely not winning the Stanley Cup next year. Well, the Leafs are down 2-0 to start this game. So it's 2-0 Bruins to start the game. 4.5 minutes left in this first period. Boston got 2 goals pretty early on. Very quick early goals for the Bruins. And pretty close together as well. Toronto has definitely... And Toronto's going right back on the power play as McAvoy skates to the box. So Boston is just begging the Maple Leafs to get back in this game. They are literally giving it to them, telling them to get back into this game by taking these stupid interference penalties. But yeah, Toronto's been pushing pretty well lately. The power play for Toronto just had was not good, but they're getting another chance here. They can easily turn that around. But Boston's lucky that they're out to a 2-0 lead. That I think is going to really help them because Toronto is starting to bring it here a little bit, and Boston is going to struggle, I think, containing Toronto's offense unless they can find some offense of their own and some damn puck possession. That would be nice. Yes, Shadow, I absolutely remember you. Will I buy a gun? Yes, once I get my gun license, absolutely. I've been meaning to do that literally since I turned 21, but just never have. But yeah, definitely something that I will be doing in the future. Yeah, the Boston Red Sox have been absolutely garbage so far this season. Yeah, I agree with that, Akuma. The Leafs are spending a lot of time in Boston's end, but the quality chances have not been there for Toronto yet. So I completely agree with you on that. Almost Islanders-like for Boston so far, where the puck is in their end a lot, but they're not. They're not giving up grade A chances. No, I won't be shooting any people. Strictly will be for fun and target shooting and stuff. I'm definitely not shooting people. Nope, not myself. Otherwise, this channel would not be going on. I don't know what I would get yet. Definitely a rifle would be the first thing I get. With a nice scope on it, but I'm not sure yet. Haven't thought about it. Yeah, no, I am definitely interested in hunting as well. But again, this is all in the future. I gotta do all the classes and get the license and stuff first. Do I still have merch, Shadow? Yes, I do. The merch is always going to be here. The store is always open. The link to it is in the description of every video. So if you're interested in merch, it's always there, and all you have to do is click the link. It will take you right to the store, and you'll see all the wide variety of stuff. An M4 would be great. I'd love an M4. All right, see you, man. Thanks for stopping in and watching, and see you later. Appreciate it. Yeah, now you're just This isn't Call of Duty, man. Yeah, I don't know, Akuma, but he doesn't, and I'm not sure why. Definitely can't get a rocket launcher unless I build my own, but I don't think that's going to happen. So Boston clears again on the power play. Almost had a breakaway. Would have been offside, so as the Leafs deflected the puck in the neutral zone. But down to the final 20 seconds here of this second power play for the Leafs. They've had 2 power plays in a row. Well, not pretty much in a row, and really haven't done much with either of them. So Boston's defense is holding strong here. The penalty kill, which was downright atrocious in Game 3, has been good so far to start for Boston, and now the power play is over. Back to full strength, 5-a-side hockey. 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and the Leafs score. This is not good for Boston. Looks like that was deflected in front, and it just got by Tuukka. And again, that's not a goal that is Tuukka Rask's fault, but that's one of those goals that, could we please just get a big save there? Like, Stanley Cup winning goaltenders find a way to make big saves throughout the game. And Tuukka just doesn't have that it factor to where he can get the big, timely save when it would really help. He gives up just so many of those bad timing goals. I mean, that would have been huge to get a save there and then go into, still be up 2-0 headed into intermission. But no, again, Boston gives up a goal to end the period at the end of the period, last couple minutes again. Those goals are killers, absolute killers. Maybe they can go out and get one and get a third in this period right now, but the puck's been in Boston's end for pretty much the entire last 10 minutes of this period. So, I don't see any offense coming for Boston. Toronto's skating again, and Boston can't keep up. I'll tell you, the Boston Bruins look so slow compared to Toronto. Like, they cannot keep up. The speed is on a whole other level. Boston looks like they're standing still half the time. Yeah, Hyman has been a really good player for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, I agree. I think the Islanders are better than the Blue Jays. I think the Islanders might be the most, other than the Capitals, the Islanders might be the second best team in the East, other than the Capitals left in the playoffs. I think they're at least playing better than both Toronto and Boston. They're definitely better than Carolina. They're definitely better than, well, I think they're better than Columbus. I mean, no, that's not a goal that is Tuukka Rask's fault, but that's one where it's just like, can we get a big timely save once, please? Like, yeah, Kapanen has not had a great series for the Leafs at all. Janssen and Matthews got themselves off the schneid in Game 3. Kapanen has not been good. Yo, welcome back, Rob. There's a good save by Rask. Now here comes Boston. See, look how slow Boston is through the neutral zone. 4 Leafs get back because Boston is so slow through the neutral zone. What could have been a 2-on-2 was a 2-on-4 because Boston has no speed through the neutral zone. And now it's the end of the first period. So 2-1 Boston, end of the first. So that's where we're at. Honestly, it definitely could have been worse for the Bruins in that period, without a doubt. It also could have been could have been better. I'm going to move the computer here to let it cool. What I usually do at intermission. Could have been better. They could have not given up that goal at the end of the period. But overall, you're on the road in a must-win game, and you have the lead after the first period. That has to that bodes well for the Bruins. You're on the road. You take a lead into the first intermission. That is good. But again, they need to establish some puck possession again, because the whole second half of that period was puck possession for Toronto. So I agree with Akuma here. If this exact game continues for 2 more periods, Boston will lose. Toronto will win this game if they control the puck and have the possession time that they did in that first period. So Boston has to find a way to either shut down Toronto's speed like they did in Game 2 or match Toronto's speed, which I don't think they have the players to do that. Or they're going to end up, they have to find a way to control the puck. If they don't control the puck, Toronto is going to end up scoring 4 or 5 goals, and this game will end 5-3 or 4-3 Toronto, and we'll head back to Boston with a 3-1 deficit, and the Bruins will, even if they win Game 5 on home ice, they'll get knocked out in Game 6 in Toronto. So, yeah. Boston is happy as I am that they have the lead going into the intermission. If they continue the way that the second half of that period went, especially, the Leafs are going to win this game. Oh, Rob, you've seen the Matt Cook footage. What do you think? I absolutely hate Matt Cook. Yes, Vaughn. I would say that the answer to that is yes. Uh-oh. The chat. Oh, man. So first period, I feel like that first period went by very fast. Some games kind of drag on and feel slow. I feel like that first period went by very, very fast. Maybe because I was doing so much and was reading so much in the chat. Or it just felt like that period was fast. No, I will not be a Leafs fan. No, will absolutely not convert myself to a Leafs fan. Absolutely not. Always, always, always be a Bruins fan. I don't care how good or bad they are. You never give up on the home team. Yeah, Stars Predators has been all defense. Absolutely. That has been a shutdown defensive battle. And all 1-goal games, very, very close games. And I think Nashville has the edge, but we'll see here how the rest of that series go. But that is a tight one. That is a very, very tight one. No. I am not. I don't sell out. I don't change teams. I don't sell out for subs. I absolutely am a Bruins fan, always have been and always will be. I will not be a Canadiens fan. Do I think Calgary is in trouble? Yes, I do, because will the Leafs win the Stanley Cup? Not this year. This team's not winning the Stanley Cup, no. Do I think Calgary is in trouble? Yes, I do. Colorado is no pushover. I still feel like Calgary should win the series, and Calgary's the better team, but Colorado is no pushover. They've got high-powered offense. They've got speed. They can play physically with guys like Zadorov and Calvert, and Ian Cole. I mean, Colorado is a tough team. And in Calgary, though, they need to respond big tonight. They need to respond big tonight after getting shellacked, absolutely shellacked in Game 3 in Colorado. That was an absolute blowout. I watched that whole game. I watched that whole game. Nathan McKinnon is unreal, and I agree. No, the Avalanche are not going to win the state. Well, I can't say the Avalanche. This year, the Avalanche are not going to win the Stanley Cup this year. But they're a formidable opponent, and they're just going to continue to get better. They've got a lot of young prospects that are looking good. They've got draft picks and future drafts. All right, stop spamming the chat. Stop spamming the chat with Leafs. Siri. We get that you're a Leafs fan. You said go Leafs a million times. We don't need the whole chat to be Leafs. Can we get an F in the No, I'm not going to block them. I'm warning them. All right, from now on, I'm going by a 3-strike rule in the chat. If you're doing something, if you're doing something that's a problem in the chat, one, I'm going to ask you to stop. I'm going to say, please stop doing that, whether it's spamming, whether it's talking about, stuff, whether it's using language that's going to get you in trouble. I'm going to ask you to stop. If you don't stop the first time, after I ask, then I will hit the put in timeout. That blocks you from chatting for 5 minutes. If the person continues after the 5 minutes is up, like that idiot in the last Bruins, maybe, or the stream I did over the weekend, the stream over the weekend I did where that one guy would just not shut up about the Leafs and how he said just ongoing obnoxious stuff about the Maple Leafs. If you keep on going like that, then you're just going to get banned. So, but it's a 3-strike rule. Dylan said he's sorry. I just don't want this chat being spammed with the Leafs over and over. Hang on, this camera. So during the day, this wasn't a problem. So it appears to be a nighttime issue with this camera where it goes out of focus and then won't refocus. Will Boston win the Stanley Cup? No, Boston this year is not winning the Stanley Cup. And I've been saying that all year. That's nothing new for me. If you've watched my videos all year, I said they get by Toronto in the first round, but I thought that was it. They were not going to win the Stanley Cup. Now with Tampa out of the way, that does kind of open the door a little bit. At least, it does open the door a little bit in the East. But I don't see Boston getting by Washington either. So I don't think Boston wins the Stanley Cup this year. No, I think if Columbus plays the way that they did against Tampa Bay, they will beat Boston or the Leafs. It does not matter. They will beat either of their next round opponents if they play at the same level in the same way that they did against Tampa Bay. The way they played against Tampa Bay was so impressive, just downright impressive. Their forecheck was relentless. They were physical. They took the puck every chance they got, and they outskated the Lightning. And I don't see Boston or the Leafs beating Columbus if Columbus plays that way. Now, if Columbus reverts back to the team that was playing with 2 weeks left in the season, that was losing meaningful games against bad teams, then Columbus is going to be a quick out whenever they revert back to that, if they revert back to that. But with the way that Columbus played in round one, they're going to be really difficult to beat. Washington can do it. The Islanders maybe could shut them down enough offensively to where they could do it. But, man, that Columbus team was downright impressive in that first-round series. So Rob just shaved. Nice. Who do I see in the finals? Well, I don't know. I don't know now because my original predictions, my pre-playoffs predictions was the Stanley Cup final was going to be between Nashville and Tampa Bay, with Nashville winning. Tampa Bay is obviously out. Nashville hasn't been overly impressive, although they have won two close games and are up 2-1 in the series. So obviously I'm going to, until Nashville's out, I'm going to stick with Nashville. But now the East is kind of wide open. I'm going to say Washington probably has the edge now. But the Islanders, I picked the Islanders to get by Washington, so it'd be hard not to pick them. So if I had to, you know what? If I'm picking a finals right now, Nashville I have to stick with because they were my original prediction. And I don't backtrack on predictions until the team is knocked out. So I'm going to say Nashville and the Islanders then would be my Stanley Cup because I have the Islanders going to the conference final. I had them losing to Tampa. They're obviously not going to lose to Tampa. So then I guess it's the Islanders. So that's kind of my thought process behind that. Nashville Islanders, I guess now is my Stanley Cup final pick. Yeah. Oh, can you watch the game on the reflection in my glasses? That might be a copyright strike. I better watch out and make sure that no one's watching the game through my glasses because I don't want a copyright strike for that. Oh, absolutely. The Columbus and New York are full. They are full buy-in teams. They have completely bought into what their coaches are preaching, and they are just playing so well with the system. Within the system, everybody knows their job. Everybody is doing their job. Everybody is performing at a high level. It just, what a great performance by the Islanders and Blue Jackets, the BJs. No, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to get copyright for a reflection in my glasses. Jets in 6, Chris. Okay, we'll see. We will see. We'll see what the Jets do. I mean, the Jets have done really well to fight back. And after dropping both games at home, they go to St. Louis and win both. And they fight back and drop, end up tying the series 2-2. Now headed back. Yeah, I don't think the Leafs very well will probably win this series. I don't see them going much further than that. There are holes in this Leafs team the same way that there were holes in Pittsburgh's team. I think the Leafs are a little bit better than Pittsburgh, but there's holes in the game there, and there's a lot. There's just it's so hard. I mean, any team can win the cup. Any team can go to the finals. Well, it's just so damn hard to get there. It is so damn hard to get there. It's hard to pick who's going to actually do it and who's not. I don't see this Leafs team doing it. I think they run into a brick wall at some point, whether it's Washington, whether it's Columbus in the next round, whether it's in the finals. Maybe they get there, but they have to play, say a Nashville team that's incredibly good defensively, or a Winnipeg team that has faced a ton of adversity and fought their way through. Or what about a high-flying Vegas team that is just lighting up the Sharks? I just don't see this Leafs team going to the finals and beating a team like Vegas or a team like Nashville. It's possible, but I don't see it happening. Jordan Binnington is holding the team in St. Louis. I mean, he's done so well for St. Louis. But you can only ride your goaltenders so much before eventually, it all comes crashing down. And I think there's a very real possibility of that happening with the Blues. But, they went in, games 1 and 2, they went into Winnipeg and took both of them. So they could easily just go take game 5 and take control of that series again. So who knows? It's so tight. It is so tight and so close. Man, I don't know. Next Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup. Oh, boy. I mean, Winnipeg is the top one that comes to mind, especially like this incarnation of Winnipeg. They feel like a team that could possibly be a cup-winning team. At the beginning of the season, Winnipeg was my Stanley Cup pick. I just got turned off to them by how poorly they played at the end of the season, which made me lean in Nashville's direction. But this Winnipeg team for most of the year was as good as it gets. So Winnipeg could do it. Toronto in the future, I don't see it happening this year, but in the future, Toronto could do it if they get another couple of pieces. Man, I don't know. I think Toronto has a chance at the cup in the future for sure. I think it's kind of a long shot this year, but it's still possible. The Winnipeg St. Louis series is so tight. All right, so puck is dropped in the second period here. We're back underway. 2-1 Boston lead, but Toronto really controlled the second half of that first period. So I would say, if that continues, that Toronto is very likely going to win this game. Boston needs to get some momentum back. Boston started the game so well, but then just got stuck in their own end for basically the rest of the period, which was not good for them. And Toronto got that late goal, which is really good for the Maple Leafs. And it's a one-goal game, so either team can win this game still, obviously, at this point. We'll see what happens. This is a huge period. Third period is going to be even bigger, but this is a huge period for the Bruins and Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs have a chance here to win this game and take a commanding lead. In this series, and Boston has a chance to tie it up and make it a best of 3 and regain home ice advantage, because then they just head back to Boston. Games 5 and 7 would be in Boston, and it would become a very quick best of 3. That is what I'm talking about with Tuukka Rask. What a horrendous goal Tuukka just gave up, and now Toronto ties the game. Boston's done. That Boston's done. What a horrendous goal for Tuukka Rask to give up there. Right through him. Absolutely right through him. That is absolutely atrocious. What is that? Absolutely atrocious. Unbelievable. Seriously, put Halak in after that. That is absolutely horrendous. And Boston hasn't had the puck, hasn't had any sustained pressure since like the first 5 minutes of the game. How, they've already blown the 2-goal lead. How are they going to come back from that? They have no offense. How are they going to come back from that? Talk about a prime spot where Tuukka needs to make a save. What a horrendous goal. What a horrendous goal. No, Boston hasn't played it even close to how they played in game 2 since game 2. They're done. They're done. And if they're going to get goaltending like that, this will be done in 5 if they're going to get goaltending like that. So 2-2 game here, 2 minutes into the second period. So Boston has a 2-0 lead for much of the first period, and they give up a goal towards the end of the first period, a terrible time to give up a goal. And then right at the beginning of the second period, a terrible time to give up a goal. Unreal. This team is just so frustrating because this is not the Boston Bruins that played in the regular season and went on a 19-game point streak. This is not the same team. This team sucks that is playing right now. I don't know why Boston decided to suck all of a sudden come playoff time. There's icing on the Leafs, so Boston will finally get into the offensive zone because it will be an offensive zone faceoff. I'm sure they'll stay there for about 5 seconds, and then the Leafs will have it out. No, I'm streaming this whole game and sticking with this game, and then I'll watch the Calgary Colorado one later. But Tampa is way worse than Boston. At least Boston won a game, and Boston wasn't the 62-win team losing to a wild card team. Tampa was way worse. Tampa's loss was an all-time loss. Hey, Boston gets a goal. Pasternak, baby. Wow. Every time I go negative, 3-2, Boston takes the lead. Every time I get real negative, this team finds a way to. No, I'm gonna keep being negative and be as negative as possible. Every time I do, Boston does better. I'm gonna keep saying they're done. Maybe they'll score some more goals. It's like a reverse jinx. So Marchand's first pass gets stopped by Zaitsev. That is Zaitsev. Yeah, that's Zaitsev. But he gets it right back and gets the second pass through, and Pasternak just tips it in front of the goal. Boston retakes the lead. That is a huge goal for the Bruins. That is a huge goal for the Bruins. But now, right away, Toronto's right back in the offensive zone with puck possession. I mean, Boston can't sustain anything. As soon as they get momentum, they give it right back. Chris Wagner tried to just flub the shot there, trying to get it on goal. Boston with a chance there, but the pass was like waist high again. I don't understand these guys passing the puck way up, with the puck way up in the air. You can't, your chances of knocking that down and doing anything with it are almost zero. Oh, here's Pastrnak in the slot. He shoots it wide. Oh, man. Come on, Pasta. Pastrnak, other than that goal, he's been terrible this series. McAvoy and Matthews were just going at it, and I think Matthews got his stick up on McAvoy. McAvoy just took that right in the mouth. I don't think he's bleeding, but he just took that stick right in the mouth. So Boston's going to the power play here. There's Pastrnak right in the slot, and he just rips it wide, like a foot wide of the net. And then McAvoy and Matthews going at it in front of the net, and Matthews just gets his hands up and catches McAvoy right in the teeth. That doesn't feel good. So it's only a 2-minute penalty. So Boston to the power play here. So a big power play here for Boston. If they could happen to get a goal here, Freddie Anderson just standing on his head here. That was a great early flurry for Boston. And Pastrnak scores 4-2. Let's go, Pasta. He's woken up. After a horrible start to this series for Pastrnak, he's finally woken up. Very, very scrambly in the offensive zone. Boston keeps fighting and keeps finding the puck. Finally, they get Marchand. What a pass. What a freaking pass from Marchand. That's the second one. Both Pastrnak goals, the last 2 goals, have been on phenomenal passes from Brad Marchand. Marchand's just as good of an assist guy as he is a goal scorer. What a pass. Through the middle to far side where Pastrnak was just waiting for it, and he just throws it in. So Boston's penalty kill, much better. Boston's power play, much better. So far, we're not even halfway done with the game. This game's far from over. This could still end up 7-4 Toronto. Far from over. But so far, Boston has made some serious improvements in the special teams game and some serious improvements from their first line so far tonight. As bad as that first line was in Game 3, they have made some serious improvements in Game 4. So that's both good news for Boston. I'll tell you, if this goes back to Boston 2-2, this just becomes a straight-up best-of-3, and it's anybody's series. If this goes back to Boston 3-1, Toronto has this in the bag. So, I mean, Boston in no way – we saw how quickly their first 2-goal lead evaporated into nothing. Boston in no way can just sit back here. They need to go out and keep scoring goals. Get this to 5-2. Get this to 6-2. Then you can start to feel a little more comfortable. But so far, I mean, Toronto has more than enough offense to erase this 2-goal lead just as easily as they erased the first 2-goal lead. And there was almost one there that ended up going wide. Yeah, Pastrnak finally woke up. This game is not over yet, Severino. Absolutely not. I am cheering for the Bruins. I'm a lifelong Bruins fan. So Boston's my team. But I was not overly confident in Boston heading into this game. Do I think Gary Bettman hates Canada? I have no idea what Gary Bettman likes or hates. No idea. There's a dump in for Boston as they get in on the forecheck. Marcus Johansson's back in the lineup for Boston tonight. And his centering pass just went right to a Toronto stick. Johansson has not been impressive in a Bruins uniform. He obviously had the injury early on in coming to Boston, and he was out for a long time. But Marcus Johansson has not been impressive in a Bruins uniform at all. See, so I guess neither fan base is confident in their team in this one. I guess that means it's going to be a close series because neither fan base is confident. Well, it's been a problem for the Maple Leafs in recent history, that's for sure. When's the last time the Maple Leafs have won a playoff series? I don't remember because I know they went a long time without being in the playoffs. Then they made it in 2013 and then had the epic collapse against Boston in Game 7 and blew that. Then they didn't make it for a while again. And then they lost in the first round to Washington. Then last year they lost in the first round to Boston. And now they're playing in the Boston again in the first round this year. But when's the last time the Maple Leafs won a playoff series? 2004. Okay. Thank you for that, Vaughn. I appreciate the research. 2004 was, so it's been 15 years since the Maple Leafs have won a playoff series. That is a brutal last decade and a half for Leafs fans. So maybe they'll do it this year. But again, I understand why Leaf fans are not overly, confident in their team in the playoffs because they continue to not win. Wow, yeah. 2004, I was 8 years old. Well, I wouldn't have had playoffs. 2004 I would not have had my birthday yet because my birthday's in the summer. So I would have been 7 at the time. So I was 7 years old the last time the Maple Leafs won a playoff series. I am now 22 years old. So, wow. Dallas up 1-0. Wow. Okay. So Dallas, that series is 2-1 Nashville. So Dallas needs to, Dallas knows that they need to get a win here, especially on home ice in Game 4 for them. Well, that's going to be offsides. And then he gets hit. Is that Hyman and McAvoy again? Man, they have had, that is a personal battle that hopefully rages on for the next 10 to 15 years. That is a personal battle between Zach Hyman and Charlie McAvoy. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. The teams are rivals, and you have players that are rivals between them. It's fantastic. So Rupe Hintz gets the goal for the Dallas Stars. Did I watch hockey back in 2000? Yes, I did. Absolutely. I've been a hockey fan my whole life. Since I knew what hockey was, I've been watching hockey. Now, do I remember 2004? Not particularly. I do remember Tampa Bay winning the Stanley Cup, though, because they beat Calgary, and I actually we taped the final game. I remember my dad taped the final game of the 2004 Stanley Cup when Tampa won, and I rewatched that a bunch of times. But so I do remember it, but not remember in detail. But yeah, Tampa won that year, and I've been a hockey fan forever. Tuukka with a big, easy save there, but for him to just get the stop was nice to see. Damn, my beer's gone already. Well, that's all right. Save them for when they count. Hey, Blaney, Watermelon, what's going on, man? Yes, I did see that game, Vaughn. I also remember the LeCavalier and Iginla fight in the Stanley Cup final. That was a marquee moment to see two star players fighting in the finals like that. It was so good. Such a classic old-time hockey moment. But yeah, I definitely remember some moments from 2004, especially the finals. What was the year? I think it was 2002. The Maple Leafs had a really, really nasty playoff series with the New York Islanders. Like, it was full of fights and brawls, and it was just absolutely off their rocker, crazy series. I think that was 2002 that Toronto played the Islanders. Who did Toronto play and beat in 2004? Was that Ottawa in the playoffs? My history is not 100% clear. I think it was Ottawa that Toronto beat, but not sure. 2-0 Dallas now. Wow, so that is a nice start for the Dallas Stars on home ice. They definitely needed that. Hey, welcome, Kimberly. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. So the Leafs now on the forecheck get control of the puck in the offensive zone. Good tip in front, but it tips up rather than in, and Rask makes the glove save. Yeah, LeCavalier was absolutely a Tampa Bay Lightning legend for sure, Watermelon. Hey, no problem, TTC. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Glad you're watching and enjoying the stream. About 10 minutes here left in the second period. 4-2 Boston. Dallas is up 2-0 on Nashville. Again, I said going in that this is a must-win game for the Bruins, and they had the 2-0 lead early. They blew it. But then they've taken another 2-goal lead and have gone up 4-2. We'll see if they blow this one as well, as we have some real beating and banging going on there. But in the Bruins zone, real physical along the wall, and then Boston ices it. My thoughts on the 2019-2020 Anaheim Ducks, they're going to stink. Anaheim's going to stink next year. Their core is too old. They don't have much talent with their young players. I think Anaheim's going to blow. TTC, my beer is gone. I've had a beer, but I finished it. It's gone. Jeff. Meow. So here's Toronto in the offensive zone. Again, this is so much like this second period has been so much like the first. Boston, other than Toronto scoring the second goal at the beginning of the second period, from that point on, Boston scored 2 goals, was playing well, had some offense, took a 2-goal lead, and then the whole second half of the first period, but the Leafs dominated, and now it looks like the whole second half of the second period, at least to this point, the Leafs are controlling the puck in the Boston end, dominating play. This has been a carbon copy of the first period. I don't think, Boston needs to get some offense going. This is not sustainable for them. They're not going to keep the lead if the puck's in their end the entire night. This is not sustainable. And they ice the puck. No, it's not icing. I don't know why that wasn't icing. It must have gone like right by a Toronto defender or something. Yes, I do have cats. I have 2 cats. One there, one's down here. Hey, there you go, watermelon. If you can find, if the teacher, this is my favorite thing to tell people about school. If they tell you not to do something, but you can find a way to do it without getting in trouble for it and without getting caught, do it. Because that's just great. You know, those jerks think they can tell you what to do all the time and push you around and just, you know, be authoritarians over you. If you can find a way to not do what do what they tell you not to do and not get in trouble for it, because that becomes too big of a headache at that point. Just do it. So if you can sneak a soda in school and they tell you not to drink soda, just do it every time, man. I'm with you on that. It's 4-2 Boston, meme man. But Toronto is really pushing here. Nice pad save there by Rask. But once again, Boston doesn't get the puck out. That's been another huge save by Rask. Wow. This has been a reoccurring problem for the Boston Bruins. They cannot get the puck out of their own end. And once again, they're just going to ice it. No, it was a good flip, so no icing. Anderson is a choker. Anderson's been really, really good in this series. I have nothing bad to say about Freddie Anderson so far in this series. Maybe as the series goes on, if he has a bad game in Game 5 or something like that, maybe I'll have something to say. But so far, nothing but praise for Freddie Anderson in this series. Do I think Colorado over Calgary? Very, very real possibility. Not necessarily going to happen, but a definite possibility. Who do I want to win? Boston. I am a lifelong Bruins fan. Always have been, always will be. I don't wear Bruins stuff during Bruins games because it's bad luck. If Toronto makes this 4-3 before the end of the second, I will be very worried, Gabriel. Absolutely. Would I name my cat Sean Avery? Absolutely not. Only a cat I absolutely hated. Definitely not. How did Brown miss that? I have no idea. That should have been a goal. Please be no. If I'm positive about Boston, then they start doing bad. I'm going to keep being negative about Boston until they win this game. If they win this game, they might not. Colorado, Vegas, who wins? Vegas. I've been thoroughly impressed with Vegas so far in these playoffs. Am I Canadian? No, I am from Massachusetts. Massachusetts in the U.S. of A. I am not Canadian. No, I don't think so, TTC, unless I missed it or I'm not sure. Let me check. I got so many comments already on that video, TTC. I might have just gone by it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, TTC. I'll check more thoroughly later, but I'm not seeing it right now. But that's all right. Yes, I absolutely think that Tampa Bay makes some roster moves this offseason. I think they have to after that incredible choke job in the playoffs. Absolutely. What's going on, Transportation Land? Thanks for oh, that was almost a goal for Toronto. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Boston is winning 4-2. No, I would not name my cat Zach Ronaldo. Zach Ronaldo's a stiff. Oh, I did? Then I definitely saw it then, TTC. If I gave it a heart, then I definitely saw it. Yeah, Boston's up right now. We'll see if that lasts. 6 minutes, 6:18 left in the second period. This is about when Boston might start giving up goals to Toronto, given the fact that Toronto's been in their end for the last at least 4 or 5 minutes, almost nonstop. Who do I think will win? Ask me that when the clock says 0-0-0 at the end of the third period. Ask me who I think will win. Then I'll tell you with a definite answer. The Bills play the Patriots in September. Oh, early season division game there. Okay. Patriots should beat the Bills, but we'll see. I don't know. Toronto has plenty of offensive firepower, and they've had the puck. The entire last 5 minutes, they've had the puck. So they could very much make a comeback here if Boston doesn't put some kind of puck possession and offensive pressure together. It's been all Toronto the last 5 minutes. Terrible turnover there from Marner, though. And it's offsides. Yeah, Leafs have had the puck, except when Boston was scoring, the Leafs have had the puck the whole period. Yeah, the Dolphins are not going to be good, I don't think. Oh, it's in Buffalo too. Nice. Can I stream the game on my phone? No, I cannot live stream the game on my phone. Yeah, Sharks aren't doing too hot either. I think I'm going to do a video about the Sharks tomorrow because the Sharks are really their own choke. Wouldn't call it a choke job because Vegas is a very good team, but their own struggles in the playoffs this year have been completely overshadowed because of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay got swept, getting swept has been the huge story around the league. And Pittsburgh getting swept has not really been talked about all that much because of Tampa Bay. And the Sharks, who think back to the beginning of the season, how many people had the Sharks at least going to the conference final, if not going to the finals or winning the cup? And then even at the beginning of the playoffs, look at how many people had the Sharks in the finals or at least in the conference finals. And they're down 3-1 and might get knocked out tomorrow night. That's completely gone under the radar because Tampa Bay has been the story of the playoffs. It is now 3-0 Dallas over Nashville, not even 10 minutes into that game. So that is, oh boy. Leafs are done. Leafs are done. The Drake curse. Drake is in the building in Toronto. The Leafs are done. That just changes this series. Drake is in the building in Toronto. It's the Drake curse. There's no way around it. Drake is there rooting for the Maple Leafs. They're done. They will not win. Now, honestly, I have no idea if the Drake curse is real or not. It seems pretty real, though, but I don't think Drake watching the Leafs game is going to cost the Maple Leafs the series, so to say. But that's pretty funny anyway. It's just funny that they showed Drake at the game like that. Yeah, but think back to how many people had the Sharks winning the cup, going to the cup, or at least going to the conference final. And they're down 3-1 and might very well be out in the first round again. So another team who's really underperforming in the playoffs is the San Jose Sharks. Hey, Off the Wall Hockey fan, what's going on? Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here, of course. 4 minutes left now in the second period. 4-2 Boston. Toronto mostly carrying the play, however. What's going on? Let's Talk Sports too. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And hope you enjoy the stream. How many people do I think are watching this game? Probably quite a few. Yeah, Martin Jones has been horrendous for the Sharks. Horrendous. No, I don't think anyone thought that I don't think anyone thought that the goaltending for San Jose would be this bad. The biggest playoff upset so far is it's Tampa and not even close. Tampa is an all-time upset in not just the NHL, in sports. That is an all-time upset. Toronto, I don't really know much about the Toronto Blue Jays other than they're not very good. Yeah, Tampa absolutely got wrecked. Absolutely got wrecked. Yes, I am bullying you, Watermelon. I am bullying you. Because the Lightning got swept out in the first round after having 62 wins in the regular season. How much did those wins mean in the playoffs? Absolutely nothing. Oh, Krejci. Krejci just had a golden chance to one-time the puck in the slot, and he fans on the shot. Oh, boy. Winnipeg in Toronto in the final. Who wins? Winnipeg. No, I will not call you that, Sam. Come on, camera. Refocus. Refocus. I guess it doesn't want to. This is... Wow, okay. It's really... Oh, there we go. Refocus, camera. There we go. Did you watch hockey at all in the regular season? Almost everybody predicted Tampa to win the cup. Literally, I would say 60% of people predicted Tampa to win the cup. They were an all-time great regular season team, and then they just absolutely blew it in the playoffs. Yes, Tampa was that good. Yes, it's an all-time choke job. Good chance there for Tavares. See, again, this looks like Boston is going to give up one of these late period goals that just absolutely kill you. And now Boston ices it with a minute and a half left. 1:34 left in the second period, and Boston ices it. They can't get off the ice. Marcus Johansson's going to get off the ice because he blocks this shot right off the knee, it looks like. That never... Oh, yeah, right on the inside of the knee. I've blocked enough shots in my hockey career to know that taking a shot like that off the inside of the knee does not feel good. So even though it's icing, Johansson was allowed to go off the ice because he's injured. So a new player will come on to replace him. And let me tell you, that does not feel good. And Rask with a save right off the faceoff as Marleau takes the shot. St. Louis and Winnipeg is going to be a very, very tight series all the way through. Tied up back 2-2 now. Does Boston deserve to win? No, not this game. Definitely not. Toronto's controlled the puck for like 60% of this, 70% of this game. But Boston has put the puck in the net when they've had the chance, which is really nice to see as a Bruins fan. But Toronto's controlled puck possession. They've controlled the play. Boston's just netted their opportunities, which, I mean, when they do that, they do have the ability to steal games if they, can, take advantage of the opportunities that they do get. Final minute now of the second period. 4-2 Boston. If I'm the Bruins here, my main goal is do not give up a goal at the end of this period. Just dump it down the ice. Just get it out of the zone. Do not give up a goal in these last now 46 seconds. If I'm Toronto, I am trying desperately to make this a 1-goal game heading into the third. Do I like Good Friday? It's just another day to me. What do you mean? I don't get anything like off for Good Friday or anything, and nothing in particular. So it's just another day. Because they play every other night. The games are every other night. So, they're playing on Wednesday night. They have Thursday off. They play on Friday. So game 5's Friday night. So final 10 seconds here of the period. Oh, God. Matthews with the shot on goal. Good chance there for Toronto right at the end, but Boston does get the puck out and it takes one final shot that gets blockered aside. And it's the end of the second period. It's 4-2 Boston, end of the second. So that's where we stand right now. I am going to move the computer onto my lap, let it cool off like usual, and try and keep up in the chat a little bit here. You have a funny joke. Tell me your funny joke, please. Put it in the chat for all to see. Am I Catholic? Technically, but I don't go to church or anything. But yes, technically I am. 4-day weekend. Okay, so that is good for you for sure, Watermelon. Yeah, I don't go to church or anything. Well, they play game 5 is Friday and game 6 is Sunday. So if they played on Saturday, then they wouldn't play Sunday. But yeah, Johnny, I've been saying that all year about the Penguins, and not nobody, but some people, especially a good number of Penguins fans, did not want to believe me, and they just ruined me in the comments. Anytime I mentioned Pittsburgh, they'd ruin me in the comments. And I tried telling them over and over again, I said it all year, that this team just wasn't that good, but at least by Penguin standards. And there were major holes in this team, especially defensively. And Dallas is now up 4-0. 4-0 over Nashville. This is an absolute beatdown. Get Pecorine. Yep. Saros is going in. Get Pecorine out of this net immediately. It is 4-0 in the first period. Nashville, for whatever reason, it does not have it tonight. That series will be 2-2 headed back to Nashville. But I was saying the same things all year about Pittsburgh. Penguins fans were trashing me in the comments. They calling me an idiot and a moron and saying I don't know anything about hockey, how stupid I am. And then I turned out to be exactly right. And that's why I really went in on Pens fans in that video, because they pissed me off all year long. When did Pittsburgh begin to decline? With that loss last year against Washington in the second round. Once Washington got past Pittsburgh, that was the beginning. That was the end of Pittsburgh being a Stanley Cup contender. That was the beginning of Washington getting past their demons and onto a Stanley Cup. And that's also, I think, when Washington passed Pittsburgh as the biggest Stanley Cup threat in the Metro Division. And that was, I think, the beginning of the decline for the Penguins. And then this year, it got worse. It got worse, and the Penguins have major holes in their team. We'll see what they can fix in the offseason and how much of it is going to be a permanent decline, at least for the near future. All right, I'll keep calling you Blaney then, because obviously when you subbed this channel, you were Blaney Tracker back when you subbed this channel. So I'll just keep calling you Blaney. Yeah, no school Friday for Good Friday. That's cool for all you kids still in school. TTC hates the Penguins. Um, no, absolutely not. I had the Islanders being the second worst team in the division in the I think either worst or second worst. I had the two New York teams as being the worst teams in the Metro Division at the beginning of the year. That's obviously not how it turned out. The Rangers did end up missing the playoffs, but I did not have the Islanders making the playoffs. They shocked me with how good they were this year, but after watching them play and seeing how good they actually are, I am convinced that they can go deep into the playoffs and maybe to a Stanley Cup final. Yeah, Stamkos is going to get eaten alive by the media. He completely no-showed in the playoffs. Just horrible for the captain when your number one seed President's Trophy winning team gets swept out in the first round. Stamkos should get eaten alive by the media, and he absolutely is going to. All right, Severino, that's not a problem. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. And we'll see what Toronto can do in the third period here. But good night and see you, man. Yeah, Stamkos played good for like one period. Stamkos played good for one period the whole series. That's a no-show, especially from the captain and one of the team's best players. Transportation Land hates Dallas. Okay. Yeah, Lisa, I'm starting to. I definitely think Vegas is going to beat the Sharks at this point. I picked the Sharks to win that series in 7. But it does look like Vegas is going to win that. They got a 3-1 lead now. They're in very, very good shape. Are the Atlanta Thrashers playing tonight? That's a great joke. No, yeah, funny. No, the coach, Gabriel, the coach has made all the difference with the Islanders. Barry Trotz is such a good coach. He's taught this team defense. They've completely bought into his system, and the coach has made a huge difference. Barry Trotz is the coach of the year this year, and it's not even close. No one else should even be in the conversation. Thank you, Severino. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. If the Lightning don't win the Cup next season, Stamkos gets traded. Okay, wow. That would be a huge trade. We'll see. Who's winning? Boston is winning 4-2 at the end of the second period. Tampa used a drug. I don't know what you mean by that, TTC. No, the Atlanta Flames are definitely not playing tonight. Quebec Nordiques are not playing. My accent is funny. Okay. I guess. Anyway, in this other game, because they're at intermission now, they're showing Dallas and Nashville. Dallas is up 4-0, not even the end of the first period yet. But Nashville is now on the power play and getting a power play. No, the Hartford Whalers definitely not playing tonight. Yeah, pretty similar, I guess, Gabriel. All right. So quickly, I just want to say that while we're at intermission here and the game's not going on, if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. I do streams like this throughout the hockey season. And also I do recorded content as well. So if you're a fan of hockey and a fan of the NHL, please hit that subscribe button because there's videos here from all around the league on topics that you will at least enjoy something. And also, if you're enjoying this stream, please give it a thumbs up and hit that like button because that really helps out the channel a lot and gets the video seen more. And the more likes, the better. So please hit the thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. With that, thank you guys so much for watching and all your support. And we should have a great third period coming up. We'll see if Toronto can make the comeback. Let's see. Mark Stone. Yes, Mark Stone so far I think has been the best player in the playoffs. I absolutely agree with that. Montreal Maroons are not playing tonight. California Golden Seals definitely not. Nope, no Nordiques, no Montreal Wanderers, no Seattle, not yet. Nope, no Mighty Ducks. Leafs are done. I don't know about that. I don't know about that if the Leafs are done. I'm not so eager to call this over yet. Can a hockey player use drugs to get better? I mean, yeah, if they did like steroids or HGH or something, they definitely could. I'm pretty sure that I know there's testing for that, so I doubt many guys actually are. If not, they're probably wouldn't get away with it if they did, but they could potentially get better by using certain substances. No, Nashville just doesn't look the same. Nashville really doesn't look the same as the year before. That year when they went to the Cup final, they were so good in those playoffs, and they just don't look like that this year. Nashville's been a little disappointing this year. Drake curses sports teams. Yeah, that's why I was saying that earlier when they showed Drake on TV at the Leafs game. I was like, Boston wins automatically. The Drake curse is on. But we'll see if that actually happens or not. What do I think of the refs in Game 3? I haven't had any particularly glaring problems with the referees in any of the games that I have watched so far. I'm trying to think. There have been some of the games where I think they've called too many penalties, particularly in the San Jose Vegas series. I think they've called too many penalties at times. And in the Pittsburgh New York series, there were a couple games there where I think they called too many penalties. But overall, I think the refs in these playoffs have been fairly good at not making egregiously bad calls to the point where I'm angry at them. So overall, I think it's been okay from the referees. Cooper will also absolutely get eaten alive by Tampa fans for sure. Yeah, nothing is more disappointing than what Tampa Bay did these playoffs. Is the NHL expanding to Mexico? No. I don't think there's anyone in Mexico that wants to see an NHL team there. I don't think there's anyone that wants an NHL team there. I do not see the NHL expanding to Mexico. No. Not enough people, Blaney. Not enough people. The problem with the NHL needs to expand, to places that needs to go to, big population centers with big markets where there's tons of people to fill the stands, and nowhere in Maine has nearly enough population for a NHL team. Maine couldn't even keep an AHL team. They used to have the Portland Pirates, and they're not a team anymore because Maine couldn't even keep an AHL team going. They were only getting a couple thousand people a night. You got to go where there's big population and where there's enough, fan base and enough, a big enough market to fully, bring in enough money to operate an NHL team. That's why when people say that they want Hartford back, Hartford, as much as I would love to see the Whalers back, and especially those Whaler jerseys, because they were perfect. As much as I would love to see that, it's not a big enough market. And when you look at Connecticut, you have Western Connecticut, which is right by New York. A lot of those people are all Rangers fans. And then Eastern Connecticut, you're getting back towards New England. A lot of those people are Bruins fans. So, the Whalers, they're not a big enough market, and they don't have the fan base. They can't compete with the fan base of Boston and New York on either side of them. Just not going to happen. That's why the Whalers will never come back. The Quebec Nordiques, always going to play second fiddle to Montreal and Quebec. So they're just financially not feasible to bring them back. The NHL does not have many more cities that they can go to. I think Houston stands out as maybe the next one after Seattle, and maybe Milwaukee or something like that after that. But the NHL does not have many cities left that they can go to. If this team ever gets to like 34 teams, that's going to be it. That's going to be maxed out as many as they can have. I don't think you'll ever see a 40-team NHL. There's not enough cities to go to do that. The NHL should expand to Utah, maybe Salt Lake City, potentially. Again, I don't know if that would be successful or not. Who knows? No, Joe Thornton should not have been suspended for the rest of the playoff. Well, I don't even think he should have been suspended at all, really. But absolutely not. That's ridiculous. What does Tampa Bay do? Fire? Well, one, they should fire the coach and bring in someone else. And they should trade at least one player like a Tyler Johnson or an Andre Palat or someone like that. They got to make a trade for somebody. They got to trade for somebody and try and shake that team up a little bit. And see, I'm fine with the NHL playing games in Europe. I don't think you could ever have a team fully, like a team from Europe fully in the NHL. One, the European countries all have their own leagues, and Europe has its own hockey leagues going on. So, you'd have to compete with that. And the travel would be obnoxious. Not only would that team from Europe have to travel to Canada and the U.S. on really, really long trips, away teams, when the European teams at home, away teams would have to come from the U.S. and Canada to Europe. The travel's just too much. And European countries all have their own leagues. You have the Swedish Elite League, the Finnish Elite League, you have the German League, the KHL in Russia. You have the Swiss League. I mean, they all have their own leagues. So I don't know. I think the NHL is coming up to a point here where they're pretty much done expanding. Do NASCAR might go back to Rockingham? That would be great. I also want NASCAR to race at the Nashville Fairgrounds. I know they've been talking about that a lot recently. NASCAR should go to Nashville. 100% should go to Nashville. That'd be a great place for them another great track, short track for them to pick up. But going back to Rockingham would be fantastic as well. Definitely two things that they should add to the schedule or change on the schedule. Yeah, there are European hockey leagues for sure. Are the Saskatoon Blues playing tonight? I have no idea who the Saskatoon Blues even are. Yeah, they did just re-sign. No, it's not the third yet. Hasn't started yet. Should be back soon. They did just re-sign John Cooper to an extension. Interesting timing on that. Right now, Tampa right now is the biggest laughingstock in the league. NHL in Alaska, maybe. All right, so we're back now. It's third starting up after that last commercial break. So I'm going to move the computer back, and we're ready for third period action here as they close in on puck drop. Yeah, the timing is so different. European countries are way, way, way ahead of the U.S. So in Canada. So, yeah, it must be tough being in Europe trying to follow sports in North America because of the time zones. Yeah, that last game was much closer than 7-3. Tampa just, was pulling their goalie at the end and kept giving up empty netters. The game itself was actually much closer than that. All right, so puck is dropped here in the third period. Boston has a 4-2 lead, excuse me. But Toronto, I think, has carried the play for most of this game. So we'll see if Toronto can make the comeback here or if the Bruins hang on to the lead and win this game. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Why do we have time zones? Well, because it wouldn't make sense not to. Because the Earth is spinning, and the sun is at different points on Earth at different, the other side of the world is at night when the other side is during the day, and you have to have time zones. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense. It would be like the middle of the day at midnight in some places, and then at midnight in other places would be, midnight, pitch black, middle of the night. So we have to have time zones because of the Earth spins. Yeah, I mean, the population numbers and the financial numbers just aren't there for the NHL to expand to a lot of these cities that used to have teams and don't anymore, or that the people want them to expand to. It's got to be financially feasible, and a lot of these places just aren't. Yeah, I don't. The NHL will expand to Europe before it expands to Asia. They'll continue to play games in Asia, and especially preseason games, to try and grow the game. And they'll go to China, maybe Japan, but they absolutely will not be putting a full-time franchise in Asia anytime soon. That is a funny episode, Blaney. I remember that episode. All right, so Toronto now bringing the puck into the zone, but Boston takes it away and dumps it out. Toronto goes chasing the other way, not icing. We'll see if Boston can get any pressure sustained here. Achari's got the puck behind the net, but Toronto ends up taking it away and exiting the zone. Do I still think Toronto can win? Absolutely. It's only a 2-goal game. This game is absolutely not over. What teams from the Western Conference would I give Toronto the edge over? Probably Dallas. I would give Toronto the edge over Dallas. I would probably give Toronto the edge over Colorado. And who's the 8 seed? Colorado. Who's the 7 seed? No, Colorado is Colorado. Who? Dallas. Yeah, Dallas was the other. Yeah, probably Dallas and Colorado. That's it. As far as everyone else, I think I would give Nashville the edge over Toronto. I would give Calgary a slight edge over Toronto. That'd be a very, very close series. I'd give Vegas the edge over Toronto for sure. I'd give Winnipeg the edge over Toronto. St. Louis, again, that's similar to Calgary. That would be a very, very close series. Maybe slight edge, Blues. I'd probably give the edge to Toronto over the Blues, maybe. I don't know. That'd be very almost dead even. Who am I missing? San Jose. Yeah, if San Jose somehow came back against Vegas and then made it all the way to the finals, I definitely give San Jose the advantage over Toronto. So there aren't many teams out west that I would pick Toronto to beat. I think Dallas and Colorado would be the two that I definitely would give the Maple Leafs the edge. And then again, St. Louis and Calgary, it would be very, very tight. And everyone else, I give the edge to those other teams. So Calgary, Toronto is swarming again here. So really carrying play like they did at the end of the second and end of the first. But we'll see. Is the NHL a lot less popular than? Oh yeah, football blows everything else out of the water in the U.S. The NFL, it's like NFL is up here and everything else is down here. But yeah, hockey is the least popular of the big four sports for sure. Basketball, baseball, and football are all significantly more popular than hockey. Not in some areas. Like, there are some really, really good hockey markets in the States. I mean, Boston's one of them. Chicago's one of them. New York is a pretty good hockey town. There are some very, very good hockey markets. But if you look at the United States as a whole, all those other sports are very much more popular than hockey. No, the Kansas City Scouts are not playing tonight. Sharks are capable of rallying. The score is 4-2 Boston. Sharks are capable of rallying. Yeah, they do. They have a lot. They have a lot of firepower. But I don't know. Vegas is playing really, really good. Can the NHL expand to San Francisco? No. They already have three teams in California. Yeah, they have 3 teams already in California. San Francisco is not an option. That is not a place that would want hockey. Absolutely not. Well, thank you, Austin. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy the channel. That's why it's here. Boston scores. Shot from the point. I don't know if it got deflected in front or if he was just screened. That is a huge goal. Boston takes a 5-2 lead, the 3-goal lead. That is a huge, huge goal. Wow. New Cup final prediction. My new Cup final prediction. Oh, I did this earlier. I said, using my bracket in logic based on how I filled out my bracket, it would be Nashville and the New York Islanders. Not that I necessarily think that that's going to be the final, because I think Nashville does get beat, and the Islanders, as much as I like the Islanders, I don't think they probably don't make it to the finals. But again, I don't know. My final pick isn't looking. I mean, one of my finals picks is already out in Tampa Bay. So what the hell do I know? Can they still win? No, I think Boston, getting that 3-goal lead, I think really just pushed the needle all the way over to Boston's side. So I think Boston has this game now. Obviously, nothing is safe, and God, there's still 13 minutes left. So there's still plenty of time for Toronto. I do think the cards are certainly in Boston's favor, though, at this point. And I do think the Bruins should win this game now. If Boston doesn't win this game, this would be an epic collapse for the Bruins if they blow this 3-goal lead. No, Anderson does not suck. That was a nice shot from Chara. He was screened in front by Bergeron and the defenseman. Freddie Anderson does not suck. He's had a very good playoff so far, but tonight has not been his night. And we'll see how he bounces back in Game 5. I agree, hockey and life. Boston cannot take their foot off the gas here. This game is not over. There's still 13 minutes left. And if Boston lets up at all, Toronto has more than enough firepower to score some goals and tie this game up and maybe even win this game. So Boston cannot let up here. Absolutely not. Yeah, I think either of these teams can win this series. Absolutely. This is very, very close. Yeah, I do think that the Florida Panthers should be relocated to a much better city environment than Sunrise, Florida, which, as all of you from Florida have told me, is the middle of nowhere. So no wonder they can't get any attendance at their games. They do need to move. They should be in Miami. I agree. Favorite Bruin is, I mean, there's a lot that I like, but it's got to be Patrice Bergeron. It's got to be Patrice Bergeron. What he's meant to this franchise, what he's done for this team over the last 15 years or so is just unreal. So it's got to be Patrice Bergeron. Would I rant on Boston if they won 6-5 in OT? If who won? If Boston wins tonight, no matter what, I will not be ranting on them. If Boston blows this 5-2 lead and loses the game, I 100% will be ripping them to shreds. Hey, that's all good, THG. No problem, man. I'm glad you can stop in, and I appreciate you, coming in and talking in the chat and watching. Good luck with your homework, man, and hope you get it all done in time. But not a problem at all. Big save there by Rask. Easy save, though. But here's Toronto again in the offensive zone. Offensive pressure, Toronto again. This is not sustainable if you're the Bruins. Boston cannot spend the entire period in their own end. This is not sustainable if they want to win games. They may come out and win tonight even playing like this. But overall in this series, they are not going to win this series if they don't control the puck some and keep the puck out of their own end for at least a few minutes. I mean, Toronto has spent so much of this game in Boston's end. Most hated team, like my most hated team, Montreal Canadiens, obviously, because I'm a Bruins fan and they're our biggest rival. Oh, yeah, THG. I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Do it midnight, start at about 9-10 p.m., do it in an hour or so. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. What have you missed? It's been a pretty interesting chat so far. We had a lot of arguing and bickering going on early in the chat. Then some people left, and it's been pretty calm since then. But you've missed a pretty good hockey game as Boston has taken a 5-2 lead now. But overall, I would say Toronto has controlled the play. Yeah, no cups for the Leafs since 67. That is a joke. Should the Coyotes go back to Phoenix? I just don't. I think the Coyotes should go to Houston, honestly. I don't think they should be in Arizona. I think they should go to Houston, to be honest with you. But that's a whole different conversation. What grade? Gabriel, are you asking THG what grade he's in, or were you asking me what grade I'm in? Because I'm not in school anymore. I graduated college about a year ago. Last May, I graduated college, so I'm not in school anymore. But I certainly can relate to waiting until the last minute to do all my assignments. I did that pretty much my entire career of school, so that's what I did. Worked out pretty well for me, though. But definitely had to get some shit done under pressure. I think Steve Yzerman returns to Detroit this summer. That was the rumor when he resigned in Tampa, and I wouldn't be surprised. I said that when he resigned. I did the video on it and said, I bet you he's going back to Detroit, and he's going to be the savior GM of the Detroit Red Wings. As Toronto's breaking in here, Hyman just turns the puck over there. That was really dumb. I don't know what Hyman was doing there, but I would not be surprised to see Yzerman go back to Detroit. I think he's gonna go there and rebuild that team and turn them into a playoff contender and a Stanley Cup contender once again in the future. And he'll be the hero a hero in Detroit as a player, as David Backes gets a breakaway and shoots it right into the glove of Freddie Anderson. Man, Backes does not have any offensive skill left at all. But he's a good energy guy. But you generally don't pay $6 million a year to energy guys. But I think Yzerman absolutely could go back to Detroit. Danny, what's that? The Coyotes? You think they should disband? No, I think they should get relocated to Houston because I'm a big believer in Houston as an NHL market. Natural rivalry with Dallas. Another Western Conference team or a Central Division team that will balance out the divisions with the same number of teams in each division. I'm a big believer in Houston, and I think they would make a very good NHL city. Toronto is definitely lacking on the toughness, both mentally and physically. Babcock said that the Leafs will win the Cup within 7 years. 7 years of when? 7 years of now or 7 years of when he took over? Because if it's 7 years from when he took over, it's already been, 3? I don't know. I don't know about that. I really don't. I would have to say disagree with that. I don't necessarily think the Leafs are guaranteed to win a cup within 7 years. I'm sure. Which team that has never won the cup wins it first? Ooh, that is a very, very good question. Well, I think we could potentially see that this year. What if Vegas wins this year? Then there you go. If Winnipeg wins this year, then there you go. That's a question that would require me to actually look back and look at all the teams that haven't. That requires some research. That requires me looking at the teams that haven't won a cup and see who looks most poised to do it. I'd have to do some research on that before answering that thoroughly, Gabriel. Have I ever talked back to a teacher? Generally, no, because that caused problems that I just didn't want to deal with in school. Like I was saying earlier, I'm all about doing things against the rules and stuff, but only if you can get away with it and if you're not going to get in trouble for it. If it's something that's going to automatically, that like talking back to a teacher, that just causes more problems than it's worth. So I probably have at some point, Vaughn, but I definitely didn't make a habit of it. I generally just kept my mouth shut. And if I was going to do something, I was going to do it on the down low and make sure that I got away with it. Thank you, THG, and yes, you're a sophomore in college, so you still got a little ways to go. Good luck, man, and all the best to you. I hope it goes well, and I hope everything goes well and college is good, and you get all your assignments done on time. So you think that Boston will win this game? It's just been that type of game for Toronto. I think Boston's going to win this game as well at this point. 3-goal lead with 8.5 minutes left. Again, it would take a big-time collapse for Boston to lose this. And now we've got a high sticking call coming up on Charlie McAvoy. So McAvoy's going to the box again. His second penalty of the game. And it's hot. So Toronto, here's the golden opportunity. Golden opportunity for the Maple Leafs here. Going on the power play. Down by 3, but still with 8 minutes left. And McAvoy just gets his stick up. What an idiot. No reason for that. No reason for that. Keep your damn stick on the ice. Oh my God. Luckily, it's only 2 minutes and not a 4-minute double minor. Jesus. Who would you want from Pittsburgh if they clean house? Well, they're not going to trade Gensel. Come on, refocus. Maybe if I move back, it will. Or nah. Who would I want if from Pittsburgh? I don't know. Not many because they're not. And Matt, there's a goal. 5-3. So Toronto pulls themselves within 2. Still 8 minutes left in the game. This game is not over. Boston has spent way, way, way too much time in their own end. Yeah, I'm not sure who I would want from Pittsburgh off the top of my head. I'd have to look at that. What did I take in college? I was a communication major, but I really haven't really not using that. My goal now is to become a full-time day trader eventually, trading stocks. So that has nothing to do with communication, but still I have the degree and I can use it if I need it. So it's good to just have a degree, even if you don't necessarily end up doing anything that degree is related to. You at least have a college degree. Wow, look at this scramble in front of the Bruins goal now. This is going to be a 1-goal game here real quick. Look at these losers. Rask can't cover the puck. Boston can't get it out. They finally just ice it. Oh, it's on goal. Wow, got lucky there that they threw it down the ice and it ended up on goal. So it wasn't icing. But that was huge. That was almost icing there. Yeah, Austin Matthews, he's shown up the last 2 games. He was kind of nowhere to be found in the first 2, and I was going to talk some shit about him, but he's really shown up in the last 2 games. Okay, Jaden, good for you, man. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Absolutely, Austin. No matter who wins this series, it's going to be a very, very difficult second-round matchup with Columbus because Columbus is feeling it now. Nice save there by Tuukka. So under 7 minutes now, 2-goal game now, though. This is still very, very close. Very, very close. Man, I am this is stressful. This is absolutely stressful. If Boston blows this lead, man, I'll tell you, I am going to be furious. Here comes Toronto again. You know, Toronto has had constant puck possession in the offensive zone. And they score. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Here's 5-4. They're blowing this game. Boston is blowing this game. They literally can't even get the puck. They can't get the puck. Toronto has had complete puck possession. And once again, Tuukka just, I mean, yeah, there's traffic in front, but can we get a damn timely save here from Tuukka Rask? Can he get any sort of a timely save here? A big save to shift momentum? No, he can't because he's not a winner. He doesn't have that it factor that a goaltender needs to have in the playoffs. I mean, this is brutal. This is brutal. watching Boston do this. Tuukka cannot get you a big save when you need it, and Boston can't even get the puck. They've had 0 puck possession in this period. Toronto has the puck 90% of the time. It's embarrassing. Where is the Boston team that played in the regular season that was so good? I mean, here's Krejci now with a one-man rush stuck by himself. Boston finally going to get some offensive zone pressure. They do, and Pastrnak gets a pretty decent wraparound chance there. So finally an offensive zone faceoff here for Boston. I don't even know when the last time they've had an offensive zone faceoff was. Probably not in this period. Yeah, I would honestly, I would see what Halak's got. I would put in Halak at some point and see what he's got, because Tuukka just doesn't do it for me. When you're paying a goaltender $7 million a year and you think he's an elite goaltender, he needs to be somebody who can show up in the big spots. And Tuukka Rask just never seems to be able to show up in the big spots, get that one huge save to shift momentum, or make a huge timely save to secure a win. Can't do it. You just don't get saves like that with Tuukka. And yeah, hockey and life agree. Boston decided to just sit back. They stopped attacking. They're just sitting back, and they're just giving the game away. It's unbelievable. This team is so frustrating. It's unbelievable. They're just sitting back in their own end, can't get the puck out, just giving this to Toronto, giving it to them. Will Boston choke this lead? It seems like it. Certainly seems like it. If they don't, it's going to be very, very lucky. I mean, easy tap-in goal for Matthews. And Dermott with the shot from the point. Tuukka, I mean, please come up with a save on that. Please. Did Drake really leave? Then that's exactly why this is happening. If Drake left, then that is why this is happening. Yeah, Boston hasn't had the puck this entire period. The Maple Leafs have had the puck the whole period. Boston's going to blow this. You watch. They're going to freaking blow this, because they're just, oh my God, they're so frustrating. Tuukka Rask get a big save? No, not Tuukka. He's not a winner. Tuukka Rask is not a winner. He does not have the it factor at all. And this Boston team has, they're just brutal to watch. Brutal. So they're going to be out in the first round, because they look so slow. They have they're lucky. Imagine if they didn't score 5 goals in this game. They are lucky that they've capitalized on the few chances that they've had. Because if not, I mean, they'd be getting blown out. Toronto's completely controlled the play. Boston with a little push here in the offensive zone, but it won't be long, and now the Leafs clear it. That didn't take long. Luckily, Boston does still have a 1-goal lead, but there's still 4 minutes left. This could be very easy to blow, without a doubt. There almost was, right in front. God, they're just sitting back. Come on. Game's at 5-4. Boston's winning by 1, but they're on the verge of giving this game away. Blocked shot. Boston, get to the puck. God, they do not win any races to the puck. Go get it. Hit him in the corner and go get it. There you go. Keep the puck in. Finally. God, they're finally going to show something here, maybe, for the first time this period. 3 minutes left. 3:12. I mean, you know who's going to be on the ice for Toronto. You know who's going to be on the ice for Toronto. It's going to be the Tavares line and it's going to be the Matthews line over and over and over again. Here comes Marchand. I mean, if Boston can get another goal, that would be huge. I think that hit the post. I don't know if Anderson got that or if that hit the post, but that staying out was huge because another goal for Boston probably ices it with this little time left. But God, they need another damn goal because it feels like they're going to give one up. Whew. Iced it. Toronto iced it there. Wow. All right, Blaney. See you later, man. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and hope to see you soon and talk to you soon, man. Thanks. Thank you. I appreciate it. Final 2 minutes here. Toronto won the faceoff after the icing, so they get the line change. And here they come into the offensive zone, and here comes Anderson to the bench. Empty net for Toronto. If Boston can get the empty netter, that will ice it. But again, I don't have confidence in them to do that. Toronto's still controlling the puck. The whole game, Toronto has controlled the puck. Just dump it. Go. Get the change. All right, so they exit the zone there. Minute 30. Final 90 seconds. Still can't get the... Oh, Riley missed it. Lucky Riley missed it there. Bergeron shoots and misses. Now Marchand has the puck. He misses. Dump it deep, Coyle. Just dump it deep. Final minute. 60 seconds left. 5-4 Boston. Final minute. Empty net Toronto. Save Tuukka on that shot was more of a dump in than a shot. Clear it. Just get it out. There you go. That's going to be icing, but that's fine. No, it doesn't reach. Oh, it doesn't reach. That's huge. That little dump out did not reach for icing. So no offensive zone faceoff for Toronto. 35 seconds. No, don't just eat the puck along the boards. There's too much time left. You only do that in the last 10 seconds. 20 seconds left. Just dump it out. Get it out. No. Riley keeps the puck in. Right through the crease. Somehow lucky that wasn't tipped. Get the freaking puck. 10 seconds left. Now you just eat it along the wall. It's out. That's it. Boston does it. Empty net. Goal. 6-4 Boston. 2 seconds left. Wow. Boston hangs on. Wow. Boston, in no way did the Bruins deserve to win this game. Toronto controlled the puck for, I'd say, probably 70% of the game. They spent a huge portion of that game in in the Boston end. Toronto played better. They were the better team. Boston happened to capitalize on their chances and just scored enough goals to get the win. And we're going back to Boston 2-2. It becomes a best of 3 series now, headed back to Boston. What a huge win for the Bruins. But Boston cannot consistently win on a regular basis like this. Not at all, Akuma. Not at all. So Boston needs to bring a much more complete game, a much more 60-minute game back to Boston. But David Pastrnak finally shows up. That is a huge bonus for the Bruins. 2 goals tonight for Pasta. Marchand, a huge night for him, a goal and 2 assists. Wow. 1 goal, 6-4 win. Empty netter at the end. 6-4 win for Boston. This is huge. Wow. I am very, very happy that Boston hung on to win that game. But, man, did they hang on. That was close. But with that, that's going to do it for tonight's stream. What's going on, Derek? Huge win there for the Bruins in a must-win game. Yeah, I would say whoever wins Game 5 is absolutely going to win this series. Whoever wins Game 5 and takes that 3-2 series lead is going to win this series in my mind. So absolutely huge, but huge win tonight for Boston. We'll see what they do the rest of the series. But, wow, unbelievable. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please hit like and subscribe. I do videos and live streams throughout the hockey season and videos throughout the off season as well on topics from across the NHL. So if you're a fan of hockey, please hit that subscribe button because there's videos here for you. Hit that like button as well. It really helps out the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream and hope to see you at the next one. And I will see you guys soon. I don't know. I might do Game 5 of this series. Might do tomorrow night also. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. Thank you guys again. And I'm going to end the stream now. Talk to y'all later.